Thank you for joining us today and becoming part of the Bixby Educational Support Team, better known as BEST. This training program is your first step in becoming a BEST volunteer. You are a valuable resource to Bixby schools. Volunteering and giving back is a great gift of time and caring, and we appreciate the richness you add to the daily lives of our students. Bixby has a rich history of volunteers, from PTA to reading tutors to watchdogs and community fundraising efforts. Bixby is an outstanding school district because of you, our quality students, teachers, and staff. Not only are you adding value to our education system, but studies have shown that those who give of themselves also receive. Volunteers are often recruited to assist with the supervision of students during state trips or other school-related activities, but it can also include reading or listening to students, practicing skills, creating bulletin boards, copying and sorting instructional materials. These are just a few examples.
Hi, this is Superintendent Rob Miller. As you've already heard, we are very fortunate in Bixby to have a supportive community and great families who are willing to contribute to our classrooms and our school buildings. Our best volunteers donate thousands of hours every year, which not only saves the district money, but it also makes an impact on student learning and helps our teachers do their mission.
As you move through this BEST training, you will learn how you can help. Forms you need to complete, rules and regulations about confidentiality and personal safety, and what you can expect as a volunteer. In order to volunteer, you first need to complete 3 forms. The first form is the Volunteer Information and Involvement Contract. This contract gives the school your information, availability, and preferences. By signing this contract, you are agreeing to abide by board policies and procedures. For quick reference, the district board's policy is provided on the back of the form. The second form you will find in your packet is the confidentiality statement. Confidentiality, or keeping something to yourself, is a responsibility we take very seriously. You should never be asked by a teacher to record grades, electronically or any other way. If this happens to you, please contact an administrator. Still, when working in the schools, there might be times that you can come across a student's personal information. The consequences for breaking confidentiality are very real. First, trust is damaged. Our staff wants to trust that volunteers are there to assist students, and any information shared with them will be handled in an appropriate manner. Should you break that trust, you won't be as effective in supporting staff and students. Confidentiality is about respect. Respecting students and families. People don't usually intend to break confidentiality. What may seem like an innocent conversation or genuine curiosity may cross the line into confidential information, and you must choose your words wisely. You might be asked something like, "What's going on with my neighbor's daughter?" It's best to divert that conversation by saying something along the lines of, "She's a sweet girl," or "I don't feel right discussing this with you. I'm sure you wouldn't want me to share information about your child with others, and I should do that for this family." Confidentiality is the law. The federal law, called the Family Education Rights and Privacy Act, or FERPA, requires that all students' records be confidential. There's another federal law called the Individual with Disabilities Education Act, or IDEA. This law guarantees the confidential treatment of all students with disabilities, from a minor speech problem to the most severely involved student. Even the fact that a student is involved in special education is a confidential matter. Should you disclose personal student information, families may seek a remedy for this breach. None of us want to be in that position. By signing the confidentiality statement in your volunteer packet, you are accepting full responsibility for the confidential information that you might see and hear. It's best to assume any student information that you see or hear during your time in school is confidential. The third form in your packet is the background check form. Bixby completes a background check on all employees, regular volunteers, and overnight chaperones. When filling out the form, please complete all of the information, starting with the name line and moving down. When completing the section of places of residence, please include all addresses in their entirety for the past 7 years. We are unable to process incomplete forms, and your volunteer status will be put on hold until the form is processed. Finally, don't forget to sign and date the form at the bottom. Please complete the forms before you leave the volunteer orientation. If necessary, you can take the forms with you and return them to the administration building completed. Personal safety is another issue that we take seriously. There might be times when you encounter blood or bodily fluid or a sick student. There are 3 things to always remember. Gloves, always wash your hands, and only the nurse can give out medication. Blood-borne pathogens are any microorganism that is found in the blood that cause disease. We are mainly concerned with hepatitis B and HIV. These viruses can be found in any blood. The hepatitis B virus can live outside the body for 7 days, even in a dry state. HIV virus can live outside the body for 7 hours. Whenever you do find blood in and around the school, notify a custodian or administrator so the area can be properly cleaned. Anytime you are in contact with a student that is bleeding or cleaning up an area, wear gloves. Then always wash your hands with soap and water. In regards to medications, there are very strict guidelines, and only the school nurse or someone trained by the nurse can administer prescription and/or over-the-counter medications.
Now that you have the information on how to apply to be a volunteer, let's talk about what that job really entails.
When you report to volunteer, please sign in at the office and wear the school-issued volunteer badge. When you are finished, please log your hours. Then sign out and leave your volunteer badge. If you are scheduled to volunteer, but at the last minute something comes up, or if you ever forget to log your hours, just contact the school and the teacher you were helping that day. As an adult, you should model appropriate behavior and dress. Please dress professionally for the activity you are assisting. Cleaning out a garden? Dress in neat work clothes. Reading to students? Slacks would be appropriate. We don't have an official dress code for volunteers, but we do request that you be clean and neat. Volunteers are assistants, and you will never be asked to supervise students without a Bixby Public School employee present. If you encounter a discipline problem while volunteering, direct the problem to the employee you are assisting. Do not handle discipline issues yourself. If you ever have any concerns, please ask the teacher or a building administrator.
We hope this training has been informative and has prepared you well for volunteering in Bixby Public Schools. If you have any additional questions, please contact your site principal who can help lead you through this process. Thank you again for all you do to support our school system and our students and teachers in Bixby Public Schools. Thank you.
Thank you for your participation and willingness to volunteer in making Bixby Public Schools simply the best.